we should have a national standard, really a national commitment, that every adult, not just on a college campus, not just in school settings, but every adult is charged with the responsibility to report suspected child abuse to law enforcement, not just up the chain of command in an organization.
That was Pennsylvania Senator Bob Casey speaking on the need to protect our children from predators like Jerry Sandusky. Every day in America, pornography featuring kids being sexually abused is shared online. It is sickening and astonishing. It is unbelievable. And it is a major problem in this country. According to one children's task force, the number is staggering. 20,000 child pornographers are identified daily. In many cases, these pornographers are also hands-on offenders. Fortunately, many law enforcement agencies across the country can keep track of this type of internet trafficking through a database called Roundup. So why are these people still on the street? It is the question of the week in the wake of what has happened at Penn State. Let's turn to David Keith, actor and campaign chairman for Protect, the National Association to Protect Children. Great to have you with us tonight, David. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Ed. Thanks for having me.
You bet. What more should be done on a national level, in your opinion? What do you see out there in your organization, as strong as it's been in advocacy working against all of this? What more can we do?
Well, the software that law enforcement now has that allows them to monitor the file sharing of child pornographies, the sharing back and forth of images as horrific as the sodomy of babies. Very seldom is it just a naked child. I think only 1% of the time. But that software, that tracking software, now Roundup, it used to be Fair Play, has identified hundreds of thousands of computer addresses in the United States. And in Pennsylvania, 22,000 computer addresses. Now, conservatively, 40% of the time that they get to the door, when they go in and knock and talk, see if there's a tricycle on the front porch, there is indeed a victimization. That's about 10,000 Sanduskys in Pennsylvania right now. And Linda Kelly, the Attorney General of Pennsylvania, has the audacity to stand on a stage and point at her finger at Penn State. Yes, what they did was wrong, but that's only one guy. She's sitting on known leads. We briefed Governor Tom Corbett when he was the Attorney General in 2009. He knows the numbers. He knows they have the locations. They don't fund the Internet Crimes Against Children task forces appropriately to the problem. Those children are sitting there waiting to be rescued, and they don't have NCAA football to highlight their plight.
Let's go back to your comment about Mr. Corbett, who was the Attorney General, and you briefed him. He's now the governor. Has this been a total failure and breakdown of the system, and you can unequivocally say the state of Pennsylvania and this country simply is not doing enough?
It is maybe the greatest failure in the history of mankind. In my opinion, it is. We know where hundreds of thousands of children are sitting being raped and filmed and traded online, 96% of them in their own homes. 96%. Stranger danger you hear about all the time, very, very rare. But in Pennsylvania, Linda Kelly is pointing her finger at Penn State. Tell her to go get the other 10,000 Sanduskys. She knows where they are. Their law enforcement knows where they are. Why aren't they going to get it? Yes, it's broken down. Protect drafted and passed the Protect Our Children Act with Joe Biden, was passed in 2008. Congress has yet to fund it.
What is the main hurdle that law enforcement agencies face when it comes to taking action in situations like this?
Well, resources, of course, money, because they won't break into the coffers and get the money. But the down deep reason, and this is what really breaks my heart, is children don't vote and they don't have any money, and politicians don't pay much attention to them. They're great photo ops, but that's about it. When it really comes to protecting our children, we're failing at every level.
David, what's your response to what you're hearing some elected officials in Congress say, that they want to do something about this? They want to change the reporting standards for alleged sexual abuse and also tie it to federal funding. What do you make of that?
I'll believe it when I see it. I sat with members of Congress for 3 years and had them in tears sitting in the office, put their arm around me, thank you for what you're doing, we promise we'll get it done. Well, we got the act passed, but those same people are not funding the Protect Our Children Act. It's $400 million over 5 years, broken out into these 61 ICACs around the country that have had to split until we came along, $15 million, 61 ways. They're drowning in lack of resources. And the regular cops, just uniformed cops, they can't run these cases because they're apples and oranges. It's not like going out on a drug dealer or a bank robber. You've got to talk to the guy a certain way. You've got to run the case a certain way. They're very fragile. So much of it is done on is forensics, computer forensics, online forensics, and breaking down that computer properly without destroying the evidence. The one thing great about just getting the guys for trafficking in child pornography is you never have to put a child on the stand. They go away for good for the amount of images they have. It's the best way to catch the most bad guys.
And quickly, David Keith with us, the National Association to Protect Children. I think the obvious question here as we conclude this, what action can parents take? What action can people at home take?
Well, we have that on our website, protect.org, but I want the people of Pennsylvania and the rest of the people in this country to go to a website that we just got up and running. It's called lindakelly.org. It shows the position she's in, the position she's taken, and what she's not doing. Hammer that website, lindakelly.org.
David Keith, thanks for your time. Thanks for your work. I appreciate it so much.